Since the presumed rumours of an Ocarina of Time remake coming out, and the fact that Nintendo did nothing for the 40th anniversary yet, I thought it was time to look forward to the future of Zelda and what may or may not happen in the next big title. These are my personal thoughts and hopes, so take it with a pinch of salt. Let me know in the comments what you think should be in the next Zelda and what it should look like. While the Wild era in Zelda was phenomenal and a great direction for Nintendo to move towards, there was one glaringly obvious thing that stood out to the entire community, and that was the lack of actual dungeons. The Divine Beast, although looking amazing, were really boring, and they were so simple. And the bosses, oh god, don't let me think about them. Tears of the Kingdom did some things to set this right, putting some form of structure to a dungeon layout, but it still felt empty and just a slog to do. There was nothing to stimulate that old Zelda vibe and brainpower that you had to use. Plus, whoever came up with this they need a pay cut. I believe that we need to return to actual dungeons, with higher difficulty, harder puzzles, and somewhere you really need to think about what you're doing to get through it. I want to return to mini-bosses and interconnected layers to the dungeons. These should be a massive staple to the game and fully immerse you in them. If Nintendo want to continue with the weapon and power system that they're using in the Wild era, I have no issue. I feel like somehow removing some of those while you're in the dungeon and bringing back old school dungeon specific items would be a great move for the franchise. How they go about integrating these into an open world style, well, I'm not smart enough to know that, but somehow I hope they can. With the gameplay of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom being very different to its previous titles, I think we need to shake it up and move away from the Ultra Hand type of gameplay. This is another reason to return to the old item-based gameplay in some capacity, whether it's a combination of abilities and the old school main items, or just a completely new system. I mean, Nintendo and Zelda are very good at reinventing the wheel time and time again, and I think it would really help them to move on from the Wild era gameplay loop. As for the weapon-based gameplay, I actually love the way that fighting feels in the game, but the durability factor, that really limits the player's use of that weapon. My want is that we move to more of a system like Elden Ring, where you have permanent weapons and individual abilities and skills attached to them. Then you allow them to upgrade that weapon they find, which they like, and it works. I think it would be a great move and will still give the players that sense of freedom of choice that they want. While the shrines were a great way to open up the world and have things to do, it felt like they were oversaturated. If they want to proceed with this style for upgrading your stamina and your hearts, I feel like they should do less. By this, I mean there should be less of them. Each can be more like a mini dungeon and far more complex and far more difficult. I feel like this would be far more rewarding for the player to complete. And also, if you insist on 1,000 Korok seeds, please make the reward something worthwhile. Again, please. Or again, reduce the amount and increase the reward for each. Also, make them more complex to complete. I don't want to rehash the same one 16 times. As much as I loved the post-apocalyptic nature of the Wild era, I feel like it's time to move on. Instead of a barren, broken Hyrule, let's move to a more full, alive, bustling world of Hyrule. Or do I dare say, completely new world like they did with Majora's Mask. While playing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we were always clearing up the mess from the main event. Those memories, although important to lay out the story for the game we were in, we felt like we missed out. In the next title, I want to be part of the main event. Make it a fully functioning world, brimming with life, Hyrule Market, Kakariko Village, and all of it in full flow. Then boom, we are in the main event, and we have to work it out from there. Let us be a part of that story, and not learn about it from the memories. Also, just a side thing, bring back water exploration, that slaps, and we know they can do it. With the Switch 2 now having a far better performance output, make the game relate to that. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom was stunning, but with even better ability, let's ramp that up even more, if that's even possible. As for the characters in the game, I want more depth, connection, meaning. Half of the characters in the Wild era, I forgot moments after leaving them. And then, well, I want a sidekick back again. Navi, Fi, Minda. They added so much to the story in the game, and without them I don't think it would have been as good. Just give us one. One other thing, and I know it's totally mental, but I feel like maybe making Zelda into someone that doesn't just need saving. Let her join us on the adventure. Integrate her into some dungeons that we might actually be able to swap between her and Link to solve puzzles. Give her her own ability set. It's just an idea and it's probably not viable, but I do like it. As we have already mentioned, the story in the Wild Era was lacking through the way they presented it, through memories of the past. This made us not feel part of the main story, but were just playing the end of it. While in large the story was brilliant, we just didn't get to be part of it. As we can safely presume, the next title will be an open world format, and we need a story that is restructured to suit this. Tears of the Kingdom really hit home with these issues, as you did the same as Breath of the Wild, regaining memories, but of Zelda in the past. This really didn't work as it allowed you to find them in any order, leading you to have massive story moments long before you had the chance for them to have the correct impact on you. For me, the best way to stop this from affecting the next game is to get rid of the memory format completely. I don't think that they will do this format again, but it still sits in the back of my mind that they could, and I still don't think it's the right move. As I've said before, and I'll say again, the main story needs to happen in the now, when we are in it. There are ways to implement this in the open world format while keeping that open part intact. The best way for me is that with each dungeon completion, the world around it narratively moves forward as well. It directly affects the world outside, if possible, even in geographical nature, but more so allow the story to evolve as we change it, and if they're able to up the difficulty of the area you choose to take on next. For example, if you beat the fire dungeon, this sets off the volcano, altering the landscape around that area and triggering a new set of dialogue for the game's narrative and upping the difficulty for each subsequent area. This will keep the exploration of the world still, but lets us be the driving force for the story to progress. Ultimately, I don't think Nintendo will not make the right choices with the next era of Zelda. They always seem to make the right choice, maybe with only a few issues. But some of these things I mentioned, I think 100% would make the next game take what we love from the Wild Era and expand it into an even better Zelda world and game. We can only wait and see. For now, I'm not sure when the next title will be, but my best guess is late 2027 or early 2028. The longest between two Zelda games was Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and that had one massive lockdown in the middle of it, so the new title on the normal pattern will only be around the corner. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. I also stream on the Purple Side Monday, Wednesday and Friday if you want to come hang out live, and let me know in the comments for the thoughts on the next Zelda game, and I'll see you in the next one. Rusty out.